Hello everyone, my name is StarLightBear and today I am reacting to Jaiden Animations dating things I shouldn't. Um this should be an interesting video. I don't know much about the premise other than the obvious statement of dating things. So we'll find out what weird thing she's apparently gonna date. I don't know. Let's find out. Alright.
Dating. Not a fan. But dating simulators can be the closest thing there is to dating without actually having to go out and do it for real, which can seem much more appealing to people like me who do not like people. Believe it or not, dating sims are more popular than you think. Don't believe me? Yeah, I guess that's fair. Either way, there's a seemingly endless plethora of different types of dating simulators out there. You can simulate dating anime girls, anime boys, evil anime girls, old rich chicken man, bubbles, birds. Anything you set your mind to, you can date. Virtually. I've never really played or wanted to play dating simulators. The closest thing I've come to developing any sort of connection with virtual beings is being best friends with Chief in Animal Crossing when I was 13. So I decided I want to see what they're like. Surely there's a reason the genre has roughly 22 million consumers. I mean, that's a few million short of the entire continent of Australia. You love bugs, but I didn't go out looking to play the generic normal games. I wanted to test the limits of game developers' creativity and find dating sims that were conceptually really out there. First on the table is speed dating for ghosts. As you can guess, we are starting out by dating ghosts. So how it works is you choose a room to go into, you have a few minutes to chat with a ghost until a bell rings, and another one sits down in front of you. There's 3 ghosts per room, and once you get the chance to chat with all of them, they all do another circuit, you can continue your conversations, and ultimately choose which one you want to go on a date with. I'm greeted by the speed dating receptionist Fran, who says, "We get all kinds of ghosts here. Nice ones, sad ones, spooky ones. It gets lonely being a ghost." And I say, "I like being alone." And Fran goes, "I've never met a ghost who doesn't need anyone. No one to talk to? It makes sense all this? I'm doing just fine, thanks. You don't even want to make a friend?" Nope. And that led to me leaving the speed dating for ghosts event. Well, okay, I guess I can't be myself in these games after all, so I lied.
If you can't be yourself in a game, where you naturally prefer to be alone, to be like the outsider type person, it's then they can't really say, be yourself in the game. It's a bit silly, but what can you do?
And I'm given the choice to enter one of 3 rooms: the room of palms, the room of liars, and the room of black. I just went into the room of palms. This huge buff jock ghost sits down in front of me, introduces himself as Riley, and proceeds to call me pretty hot for a ghost. To which I reply, "Slow down there, buddy." And Riley immediately apologizes. And now I feel bad. Guys, I don't think I'm good at I think I've been choosing nothing but all the wrong answers so far. Riley and I chat a bit, the bell rings, and I meet this old smoking ghost who used to live in Vegas and was part of the Vegas Mafia until they burned her house down with her in it. The bell rings again, and this giant bush ghost sits down. So this is Steph. She's anxious and introspective in a light and charming way. I'll be honest when I say I did really enjoy her conversations, but then you start to realize she doesn't realize she's dead and a ghost. And then the conversation turns more into just trying to hint towards letting her know she's not alive anymore. I started learning Japanese, but there's thousands of kanji characters to learn. You've got an eternity to learn. If only I'll die before I learn the language. You're already dead. Ha! Yeah, you're right. In a way, we all are just waiting to die. You're dead.
Wow, that is a massive amount of denial I have ever seen. Literally dead and still believes they're alive. That's actually kind of sad when you stop and think about it.
Are you threatening me? I'm gonna tell Fran. Steph finally catches on, and then it gets super introspective. You know, I still feel alive. Just dissociated. Ouch! Oof! Whoa! Oh, that one was real out of nowhere. What the heck? You can't recite my own feelings to me like that. Time ran out and the event came to a close. Out of all the ghosts, I wasn't really drawn to any of them enough to want to go on a date. I like Steph, but she's got her own demons to face for a bit, so back to the 3 rooms I went. For round 2, I chose Room of Liars. First up is a ghost that is apparently very scared of ghosts. When I was alive, I used to be so scared of ghosts. And turns out they were real this whole time? That one was, you know, I feel like there was an overall ceiling going into it with how well that could have gone no matter what. So, you know. Then came Spooky Peter, and I was ecstatic. Oh my god!
I do gotta say, his design, Spooky Peter, looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of like a gothic plague doctor. I like his design. It's really interesting.
He's so cool! He died from the bubonic plague, and now he's become a master at
What?
spooking people who are still alive. He's an actual legend. I'm blessed to be in his presence. The living people have written books about him. I was getting spooking tips and learning about the mirror world when the bell rang and this shark ghost, Leon, sits down in front of me and leads with, "Wanna make some money? Doesn't everyone?"
Are we gonna know the fact that that ghost is a shark? Did a human die inside a shark, and the shark died choking on him, and the souls merge into a human shark hybrid thing? Ling. That melts my mind. That really does.
Exactly. Let's rob a bank. So I meet up with Leon at the place he told me. I was a little bummed I couldn't chat more with Spooky Peter, but when someone invites you to join them in robbing a bank, how can you say no? You put everything on hold. We were getting ready to go in and we're chatting with Leon's bank robbing buddy, Carlsbad, who is explaining how he works at the bank we were about to rob so he can open the safe and knows where all the security cameras are pointed. When Spooky Peter! Leon recruited Spooky Peter to join the bank rob crew from the speed dating event as well. I'm nothing less than ecstatic, and my mental health is at an all-time high, which is the ideal circumstances for bank robbing. We get into the safe thanks to Carlsbad, and unfortunately there wasn't a huge pile of money like Leon was hoping. Like in the cartoons and movies. But we were able to open a deposit box that had some lawyer documents in it and a 14-karat gold vanity mirror set. I gave the mirror to Spooky Peter. That was about all the time we had before we had to scram out of there. And even though it wasn't a huge pile of money, I think it was a pretty successful bank robbery. We took something from the bank. That's what else do you want? And I got to see Spooky Peter again. So, since I technically didn't go out on a date with anyone from the liar's room and robbed a bank instead, that leaves one room left to find my spooky ghost partner. Everyone in the room of black was very nice. There was a punk rock skater kid just looking to have fun with a new friend, a nice old pollen lady who makes jam for the living, and Gary. Hello?
Oh, well, that is creepy. Why does that remind me of the Pocahontas? No, not Pocahontas, sorry. Monko princess thing, the white weird ghost things. Why does he remind me of them?
Well, I'm gonna narrow my own eyes at you. Oh my god. Okay. Hello? No! Bad breath? Please. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. I learned Gary's a vengeful ghost who was murdered at his office job, but doesn't remember how, why, or who did it. So naturally, I go along with him to find his murderer and avenge his soul. Turns out Gary was the murderee and stabbed his work partner and then was shot by the police. Well, he was very nice to me. Speed dating for ghosts. I made a lot of friends, but no virtual ghost could win my heart. So let's move on to The Bachelor. You know how The Bachelor works. This is just that. In rat form. I've been told these violet eyes of mine are more purple than all the lavender in the world, and I certainly smell better too. Ooh, you talk a lot. Dear, I can't say that I recall you mentioning it, but how'd you say you scored on the SATs? I got a 1570, which is quite good, if you didn't know. Wow, you're so different. You wanted to hear more about my work? Yes, sometimes I host Saturday Night Live and also Wheel of Fortune and Dancing with the Stars. Ever seen Avengers by Marvel? I was the Avenger. Wow. Meep, meeple. Wow, you're so different. It's time you meet my children. Reggie997, Evangeline, Esquire Jr., Sharpie, and Trashcan. They already love you. Yuck. If you want my respect, you need to earn it. My whole life I've had to make do by myself and work for what I've got. And every time I've needed help, people let me down. Yuck. Honestly, as much as I enjoy being here on The Bachelor, I can't wait to get back home so I can keep teaching my baking class at the local youth center. The kids are so sweet. Next up, I'm teaching them all to bake cheesecake. I hope you can come with me. I could bake you a cheesecake. The kids would love you. You talk a lot. I ended up proposing to 3 salamanders dressed up as a rat. Alright, what's next? Dating a dog? Sure, why not at this point? Would you like to see my collection of newts? No. What's your ideal starting Pokemon? I'm way more Digimon, to be honest. Would you like to hear a joke? I hate jokes. Pipe down and listen up. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. I never want to see you again. So I've tried dating ghosts, rats, dogs. What else is there at this point? You're right. Namco video game characters. When I found out this sim lets you date Namco characters, I immediately thought of Fygar from Dig Dug. I just think he's really cool. I don't think they'd put Fygar in there, but Dig Dug is part of the cast, so I started getting my hopes up that I could get to know Dig Dug. So in the game, you play as a shy, awkward cousin from Katamari Damacy who attends Namco High. You end up being put in detention for rolling up desks, the entire marching band, cars, Principal Dig Dug. Wait, he's the principal? Yeah, that's not gonna work. So now I'm bummed and on the verge of quitting the game. What's the point in playing if neither Dig Dug or Fygar are romantic interests? But in the cast of characters in the detention room I could talk to, one stuck out to me. Galaga Ship. And suddenly it's all worth it again. I go up and try to talk to Galaga Ship, and naturally they're surrounded by all the popular characters. They're talking about the school play and how they all think Galaga Ship is perfect to play Juliet, and thus began my plan to get into the school play to Romeo Juliet Kiss Galaga Ship. I have the option to talk to other characters, and I just go, no, I'd rather sit here and do nothing until the end of detention. And that's exactly what I did. The next day was the little school festival to show off all the clubs and stuff. Naturally, I went straight for the drama club and found Galaga Ship manning the booth. I want to join. Auditions are in the auditorium. I want to be Romeo. Read your lines. Alas, that love, whose view Romeo's understudy. Bam! Good enough. Now I have an excuse to practice lines with Galaga Ship, who did land the Juliet role because they're perfect in every way. The story moves along and I meet up with Galaga Ship to rehearse our lines. Well, their lines. You know, understudy. But Principal Dig Dug finds us in the auditorium and thinks we're skipping class for some reason and gives us both double detention. So the obvious next step for me was to sneak onto Galaga Ship's property.
But wait, wouldn't he know that there was a Romeo and Juliet play being getting ready to be performed soon, so people would have to practice? Yeah, it's a bit of a weird logic hole there.
At night and discreetly start apologizing for getting them into double detention. But then their parents find us being secretive and suspicious and ban me from ever talking to their child ever again. It starts raining. Then Pac-Man, who has not been a character in this story at all up until this point, shows up and tells me to be true to myself. Okay, I go home. The next day at school, we find out suddenly Pac-Man has been kidnapped by evil Namco High. I don't even know where the story is going anymore. Galaga Ship and I team up and beat everyone up, I think, like all the students and teachers. We rescue Pac-Man, and that's the end. The end. I'll be honest, that one was a bit... I think it lost me there. You'd think a game where you can date Galaga Ship would have a clearer story. After all the dating simulators I just went through, I think I feel weird. Were they all fun? Yeah, I'd say so. But yeah, maybe going for the strangest ones. I guess I got what I asked for. Either way, it was a nice experience. I believe I understand the appeal of dating simulators. It is unfortunate I didn't end up finding my perfect virtual relationship, but hey, there's plenty of ones and zeros in the sea. But I do not think I will be casting my line again anytime soon. However, I could go for another bank robbery. Surprise! We've been working with Terraria to do a...
Yeah, that was a little bit weird, that one. Saw a good animation and explaining exactly what that was, but that was just a weird video to me personally. Anyway, this has been StarLightBear, everyone. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below as well. Alright, everyone, this is it. Goodbye.